So there's been a funny trading opportunity that I've seen on Twitter that I think is a perfect use case for AI. And so it's called the Trump pump. So when Trump mentions a stock recently, it just ends up going up by a lot. So take Micron, for example.
We probably could be in Micron. Boy, Micron's great. They're investing hundreds of millions.
So he went on to show it here. He said this on the 22nd. And on the 26th, it was up by a lot. And obviously now it's up about 20% over the last month. And so this phenomenon of Trump mentioning some stock and it going up has been talked about a lot in the last month with different stocks that it's been tied to. And I think it's a perfect opportunity for trading through AI. So today I'm going to go over how the setup for this actually works, what happened to the stocks that Trump mentioned over the last month, and then also how I started tracking it today and how anyone could basically do it through AI. So if you're new to the channel, I'm the prediction engineer. I trade things on prediction markets, perps, and stocks using AI mostly, or AI systems, and I share the lessons and learnings along the way as well as the failures. And so this is one opportunity that I've noticed people have been doing, which is social arbitrage. And they're using basically just watching things on Twitter to see what could be interesting opportunities. But of course, with AI, we could set up automations pretty fast doing the exact same thing, as long as we know what to look for. So as far as the opportunity goes, there's been a bunch of things at this point that are either stocks tied to the US government and them buying it, or just stocks tied to Trump. And for this one, it's been stocks tied to Trump and him name dropping them that has really set them off. So for example, Dell, he went out in this White House event last month and said, go out and buy Dell. And you can see here in this slide that Claude brought up, it went up about 15% afterwards. And it was actually the next day, like it opened up. So if you could buy this after hours on Robinhood or Hyperliquid or any of the perps, you'd have done really well. I didn't do this, but it was actually pretty funny. I did see it because I was watching a Kalshi mention market. And so I saw the clip going around about Dell, but I just did not think about actually buying the stock. But I wish I would have, because it went up a lot. And the second one, of course, is Micron, which is one I just played. So Micron is a semiconductor company. Did it go up because of semiconductors? Did it go up because of semiconductors plus Trump in that 1 day period? I don't know. But it's literally the next day. So Dell did the exact same thing. I don't know if someone's like bigger firms are running algos on this. I have no idea. I just see it going up. So the next time this happens, I'm definitely going to jump in and buy it, especially if I could buy it after hours on something like Hyperliquid. So for example, on the 22nd, it was down here. And on the 26th, it opened up way higher. So I don't know if it's because Trump is amplifying these by talking about them, or because it's Trump amplifying them plus a tech stock. Like I wouldn't be doing this on random stocks at like a random food company or something. I would definitely tie this to AI adjacent stocks. But still, I think it's very interesting. And the last one was Palantir. So this one actually wasn't one that he name dropped directly. It actually came out, and this is a huge Twitter story, which is why I think most of this is just social momentum. But it was a huge Twitter story where it came out that he did like 3,000 trades or something in the last quarter. And so he did all these buys and sells of different stocks. And so people were talking about this for days, and they're still actually making jokes about it. But essentially, Palantir was one of the ones that he did. And he's actually he's talked about Palantir before. It's not the first time that Palantir has been tied to Trump. He actually name dropped them in a social media post on Truth Social before. But after the filing came out, the stock actually moved up. And so this is another thing that I actually think is interesting, which is tracking these filings. He does them every, I think, month. They're not quarterly, they're monthly, because the quarterly ones are a different type of filing. So as far as what these three trades tell us, there's nothing, obviously it's not objective, it's subjective, but I still think these kind of ones are very interesting. The in-person ones have been so far the most interesting. So when he's actually at a rally or an event and he just says something about the company and starts praising them, that's what happened with Dell and Micron. They both moved up a lot afterwards. This is an interesting point. This is an interesting point too, which is Catalyst on Catalyst is the cleanest. So Micron's went up 20% on Trump's quote, obviously, but it also went up because of fundamentals. So I think they had their earnings or something the day afterwards. So was it because a combination? Was it just the second one? I don't know, but it just happens that Trump and the US government being tied to these seems to make them go up. And then the last one was, of course, this filing. So the Palantir one came from that filing. I'm definitely going to be watching that. It's a very similar setup to the AI guy from before, Leopold. So he had a filing, and then people start talking about it on Twitter, which I think makes the stock go up. So as far as how to actually do this, I tried using ChatGPT and Claude to do this and send me a message through Telegram, because I like summarizing things, and Telegram's just easy because you can have bots set up to it. And it's much easier than reading your email. And also I don't like giving Claude or ChatGPT access to my email. But doing it through the web interfaces, I wasn't actually able to do it. And so I actually went to Claude Code, and it was actually able to do it. And so there was two things I did with it. The first one was using this loops feature, which I have here. So it's basically just a cron job. So all you do is you say loop within Telegram or within Claude Code /loop, and then you put in the time you want it to alert you, and then the prompt. So saying something like /loop 9 a.m. every day, alert me for stocks that Trump either talks about or people say he talked about today, or ones that he filed for, is basically what the prompt I have. And so my plan is to use that and have it do it at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. is the times I have it set up for right now. And then Claude Code can actually do this for you. Codex can do the same thing. So if you have Claude Code or Codex, either one of them works for you. They both have very similar functionality. And you can actually see here, they actually got the Dell and the Micron ones. So it talks about like when he said it to go buy Dell. And then obviously the same thing with Micron as well. So these, even though people mostly use Claude Code and Codex for coding-based tasks, they're actually very good for knowledge-based tasks as well. And they all have they actually have the native functionality of doing the loop, so it actually can alert you on some kind of cadence. But I want to hear from you guys. Are you guys doing anything like this? I think this is a great opportunity. I think with the fact that things are so momentum-based now and there's so much social proof in these things, I think having little alerts like this set up through AI and then getting big wins off of semi-risk-free ones are a very interesting opportunity. But let me know in the comments what you guys do, because I'm sure some of you guys are already doing this. What kind of things are you tracking? And I'll see you guys in the next episode.